Welcome to tonight's meeting, Thursday, November 6th, 6 p.m. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. Okay, so this...
These are not on. They're not on.
Hello. Okay. All right, so this is a joint meeting of the Select Board, Planning Board, and Board of Assessors. For the Select Board tonight, we have a full board, Kevin, Denise, Bob, Roger, and myself. And I turn it to the Chair of the Planning Board to open his meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. I'd like to open up the Thursday, November 6th joint meeting of the Norton Planning Board with the Select Board. We have 4 members in person, and could someone check if we have anyone remote, please? Maybe Rob Welsh? No one?
No Rob Welch.
Okay. 4 members in person.
Okay, so your meeting, that called to order? And Rick, if you could call your meeting to order, please. Okay. Thank you, sir. So we are looking at appointing Mr. Jim Shabbat to the Planning Board.
That's correct. Thank you. We received a request from, the microphone does feel low, from Mr. Shabbat to join the planning board. He comes highly recommended with a vast knowledge of zoning, experience with the planning board, and would be a great addition to the planning board if the joint committee so chooses. So this would be a joint vote and would have to carry a majority of both boards combined.
Okay. So I'm looking for a motion from our board.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we appoint Jim Shabbat to, for the open seat on the planning board.
Okay. Any discussion?
I'd just like to add to what Mr. Town Manager just indicated. It was the, for years, I've worked with Jim in the past, and he is a very, very knowledgeable person when it comes to zoning. He runs his own business. He pretty much knows what's going on, and I can't think of a better candidate to backfill this position at this time. Thank you.
Right. Absolutely. So, Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes?
And I am a yes. Unanimous for the Select Board. Mr. Chair?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The chairman would entertain a motion to appoint Jim Shabbat to the planning board, and to clarify, this would be until the next election.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Jim Shabbat to the planning board.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
We do a count there?
No.
You want a roll call?
Can I?
Sure. Steve?
Yes.
Bridget?
No.
Eric?
No.
I'm a yes.
What's that tally?
Passes. Yeah, the majority of the votes.
Passes.
Okay. No one else on Zoom or anything? Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You can close your meeting, Mr. Chair.
Chair would entertain a motion to close the planning board meeting.
Motion to close the planning board meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'll do a roll call vote. Steve?
Yes.
Bridget?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
And I'm a yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And congratulations, Mr. Shabbat. Okay, so minutes. Any discussion on the minutes? Anyone?
Chair, I make a motion we approve the minutes of October 23rd, 2025 as written.
Second?
Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes?
And I am a yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So we are moving right along. I'd like to skip over licenses and permits real quick and go to new business for recognition of Edward L. Burgess for years of dedicated service for the Norton Fire Department. Mr. Burgess, can you come up, please, sir? Okay, so Ed, this, hang on, gotta put my eyes back on. So Ed, this is a certificate of appreciation. May it be known that this certificate is hereby presented to firefighter Edward Burgess in recognition of more than 40 years of dedication, leadership, and service to the people of the town of Norton. We thank you for your tireless work ethic and your achievements in the protection and betterment of our community. We wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. Presented November 6, 2025 by the Select Board of the Town of Norton.
Thank you. Enjoy your well-deserved.
Congratulations. Well done, sir.
Is a good painter too, by any means. I painted the ceiling of my house. It's still.
Firefighter Ed Burgess has been a member of our department for more than 40 years. I want to say thank you for all that you have done for us over your long career. In addition to your work as a firefighter paramedic, you have led our dive team, our fire alarm division, been an honor guard member, and worked on many projects and volunteered for countless community events. Your contributions over the years have undoubtedly made our department and our community a better place. As you move forward with this new chapter in your life, I hope that you do so not only with a great sense of pride of what you have accomplished during your time here, but also knowing that we recognize and truly appreciate all that you have done. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
You want to say something, Ed? Yeah, say something.
Come on, it's your chance.
No, I just want to say, it's been an honor serving the people of Norton for all these years. It's a dream come true that I was able to do what I always wanted to do my whole life, and I'll never forget. I'm still around. I'll be in Norton forever, and I appreciate everything. And it's very, very hard time for me right now, but I'll get through it. Thank you.
So Ed,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
all right, Mr. Chairman, I believe when Ed first started, there were no EMTs. Do we have any EMTs back 40 years ago? Paramedics came later on, right? Yeah. But I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes in the department, and the Burgess family has a long history of serving the community, so we thank you for all your years of service. You did a great job, and you're looking more like Santa Claus every day, so thank you.
Don't invite the guy on Zoom.
I mean, there are no cell phones.
Just this one here.
They're like computers.
You just speak to it and say this is, okay.
Okay, thank you, Ed, and congratulations. Skipping around a little bit because we have a public meeting,
Public hearing coming up.
public hearing at 6:15 that we have to open promptly, but we have time for under licenses and permits, change of hours, application regarding Champions Indoor Golf 4 Inc., DBA Champions Indoor Golf, located at 253 Mansfield Avenue. Mr. Town Manager.
Thank you. This is a license that was already approved by the Select Board and the Alcohol Beverages Control Commission. The original application just had a scrivener's error where they put the wrong hours. They put the summer hours by accident instead of the winter hours. So we're just looking to correct that. It was listed at 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now it will be Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. as outlined in the change of application. So it looks straightforward.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Questions?
I make a
Sure.
motion that we approve the change of hours for the retail alcohol beverage license application for Champions Indoor Golf.
Second.
Okay. No further discussion. Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes?
And I am a yes. Perfect. We ripped through that one.
Okay.
All right.
Another one, we could do number 3 quickly if you think we have time. 2 minutes, we could
Which one's that one?
wait or do number 3, Puff and Pour. They're just looking to
I
change
think we
their
should
name.
wait.
We can't, well, that's 6:30, public
Yeah.
hearing.
Oh, right, we can't do that one.
Yeah.
I worry that number 1 might take more than a minute.
Yeah,
We
it
could,
will.
we could try, up to you.
Nah, we don't need to force it. We'll wait until 6:15 on the dot for the public hearing. Do we have any announcements, Mr. Clerk?
I don't, I do want to remind everyone that, well, I do actually. I want to
Veterans Day
remind
parade.
everyone that Veterans Day is the 11th, this is Tuesday, and we'll be having our annual Veterans Day parade commencing at the high school and going down West Main Street to East Main Street, down to Pine Street, turning around and coming back. So hopefully you folks will be available and be aware of the fact that we do start now just across from Freeman Street and come down that way. So again, that is Tuesday. Starts promptly at 10 o'clock in the morning. So we'd like to see you all out there. Support our veterans.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to add that any veterans who would like to participate in the parade are welcome to either march in the parade or we have a float. If they're not able to march, they're welcome to come to the high school and they can ride in the float for the parade as well.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
this was obviously your choice as you just made as the chair, but I wanted to note that the public hearing for the tax classification, it can occur anytime after 6:15. So I overheard you speaking. I think the Turnpike Auto Sales, you think it might take some time, but it's probably going to be a good half hour, 45 minutes before we get through the tax discussion. So out of courtesy for those applicants, I'd like to ask if you could reconsider that. That'll be number 1 under licenses and permits.
I understand. Does anyone else on the board have any thoughts on that? I'd like to give respect to the Board of Assessors as well.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, the only way we could do that is to open up the meeting at 6:15 and adjourn the meeting
Yeah.
for further discussion at a later time. But that's really the only way we can change it.
I'd like, I mean, it's 6:15 now, so we have to open up the FY 2026 tax classification hearing.
Mr. Chairman?
We don't have to do a roll call.
You have to vote to open the public hearing portion of it,
Mr. Chair?
which you could do
Yes, sir.
before or after the presentation.
Okay.
I make a motion that we open the public hearing for the fiscal year 2026 tax classification hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
The Select Board will conduct a public hearing in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 56, on Thursday, November 6, 2025, at 6 p.m. in the Crane Meeting Room of the Norton Town Hall, located at 72 East Main Street, Norton, Massachusetts, 02766, for the purpose of determining the percentage of the fiscal year 2026 local property tax levy to be borne on each class of real and personal property.
Okay. Good. Mrs. Ellis?
Hey, hello, everybody. Good evening. Close. I know we're gonna. Do you want to put this up there, or want me to just read it?
Sure, we can do that.
So I just have a PowerPoint presentation that we'll put up. I just read it? Okay. All right. I'll just start. So tonight we are doing the classification hearing. I'm Denise Ellis, Director of Assessing, along with board members Richard Dorney and Mike Masson. The purpose of the hearing tonight is to adopt the town's tax policy by allocating and classifying the tax levy among the 5 property types. And the 5 property types are residential, open space, commercial, industrial, and personal property. In the packet, I gave you the schedule of how we do our classification. And we start January 1st, starts the property evaluation, and from there, we're down now to the classification hearing. After this, hopefully the DOR will approve everything, and we'll get the tax bills out in December. So I am on number 4. Okay, so tonight, for the select board, you'll need to vote on a few things. First of all, you're gonna vote to maintain either we have the shift rate. So let me back up. We did a split tax rate back in 2023. So now we have residential and commercial, industrial, and personal property. So right now we are at a 1.05 shift, which can go up to 150. So tonight, it's up to the board to decide how they want to shift it. That's one of the things we need to do. The other thing we need to do is you're going to vote on a residential exemption, a small commercial exemption, and then we'll talk about open space. Just to remind everybody, by shifting the tax rate does not mean that more taxes are coming in. We're just allocating the taxes a different way. In the property assessment review, in order to get our assessments, we are looking at all arm's length sales that occurred during the calendar year of 2024 for the assessments for 2026. The state requires us to do a minimum assessment of 90 to 110% of the sales. And this year we came in at 93.5, which is pretty low, which is good. New growth this year came in at 861,076. And out of that, the new growth for residential was 447,410. Commercial was 39,806. Industrial was 247,777. And personal property was 126,083. This graph is just, it's just a graph of a historical growth, just to give you an idea how the growth is going. You'll notice last year was pretty big. That is because we had some of the warehouses that were completed along with an apartment complex. And that's why it came in so high. This year we're back down to the 861, which is around the average for us. The next page gives you the total valuation for the residential class, the commercial class, industrial class, and personal property. So we are now at 81.34% for residential this year. Then there's just another graph showing you what has happened between 2020 and 2026 for the growth and for the assessments. And these are just a couple of graphs to give you a better idea of how much we have for residential properties, what the personal property is in commercial and industrial. Okay, this is the important page. On the left-hand side, you'll see that the grid, this is called the LA4. This is what we send into the state. This gives us a total valuation of the properties for 2026. I'll give you, we have the residential, commercial, industrial, and personal property. So from here, what we do is on the right-hand side, you'll see the levy limit. This is how we get to our tax rate. So we take the maximum allowable levy that we have. We divide that by the total valuation of all the property in town, and that gives us a single tax rate, which is around 1319. And now from there, we are at 105 right now. And with that, the tax rate for residential would be 1304 for this year, and then 1385 for the commercial, industrial, and personal property. From here, these are all some of the different shifts that we can look at and decide if you want to do any of those shifts or if you want to just stay at the 105. This will give you an idea of what the tax bills would be on the average value of the home. So a single family value for 2026, the average family home is at $565,417. The average condominium value is at $425,247, and the average commercial, industrial, and personal property is $1,809,560. So the average, for at 105, with the average being for a single family of $565,417, with a tax rate of $1,304, the average tax bill will be $7,373. The condominium will be $5,545, and the average CIP would be $25,062. This grid just gives you a look at the average of the assessments over the last few years from 2020 to 2026. You'll see that everything is pretty much going up, except for the CIP, which has gone down for this year, which I explained earlier. This has been the average tax bill over the last few years from 24, 25, and 26 to give you an idea of how things are increasing. And this is the average tax bill with the different shifts that you could choose from. For instance, if you decide to go with a shift of 110 instead of 105, for the average family, if you went to the 110, you would save $85 for the residential. And then the commercial would go up $1,194. And as you're going on, going down to the different shifts, you'll see that the residential will actually drop where the commercial will increase. The next page is just tax rates for the surrounding towns from FY25. We don't have to FY26 because everybody's just doing their tax rates now. But that'll give you an idea of where we fall within the other towns surrounding us. And here are the top 10 taxpayers for 2026. So that is all part of the tax rate. And the next items that you guys would vote on would be a residential exemption. This is an exemption that really isn't for the town of Norton. It's for cities and coastal communities. I mean, the towns can opt to adopt it. But what would happen is the lower value homes in these areas would, their value would go on to, they would get I'm sorry, let me start over again. By shifting the rate, it would increase the taxes for the vacation homes, the rental properties, and the higher value homes. And the lower value homes would have a lower tax rate. This, like I said, it's usually for coastal communities and cities. It has to be your primary residence. Then the small commercial exemption, it's an exemption up to 10% of the valuation of the commercial property. You cannot have more than 10 employees. All the businesses would have to qualify within the building. And the exemption goes to the building owner, not necessarily to the business itself. Right now, I just gone through the list. We don't really have too many that would qualify for this exemption. And again, it would go to the businesses that we do have, the business owner, not the building owner, not the business itself. And as for open space, we actually don't have any open space in Norton that I know of. All the land that we have in Norton is owned or donated to the Land Preservation Society. So we don't have any open space in Norton. And then the last page is just an idea. I'm just giving you all the classification terms, so you have an idea what they all mean within the packet. And that's my presentation.
Thank you, Denise.
Questions?
Any questions from the board?
I do have a question, actually. Thank you. So Denise, this is my first time with this tax classification hearing, of course. So I wanted to learn a little more about it before asking dumb questions tonight. So Denise was gracious enough to spend about an hour with me yesterday explaining all of the process and patience with all of my questions. So I just wanted to say I appreciate that and thank you.
You're welcome, anytime.
I wanted to ask if the Board of Assessors has any recommendation on what shift that they feel they support.
Yeah, we met at our last meeting, and it was agreed upon, just based on our prior presentations, what we see as far as small business versus large business in town, what the planning board in the town and generally is moving towards. We thought maybe a 1.10 would be fair, and in line with, I think, the town's general movement. And, obviously the residents are 81%, 82% of the tax base, but we want to keep that in check, so. And remember, small business is a big part of our community as well. There's many companies that have been around for a long, long time. And, if you think about it, Cumberland Farms, I think, is a perfect example. That's really, it was about 4 years in the making to get that built. But every time it drives by, I drive by, it's busy. It's showing value to the community. And so, I think you want to be in that area of a 1.10. And, and again, you still want to attract the bigger companies. I know we were close, about 3 years ago, maybe Bob would know this, but I think it was Thermo Fisher Scientific was trying to, was interested on South Washington Street, the old Toyota building, and, gave it a Mazda. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and it came up short, and we gave it our good shot. But I think you just got to weigh all that. So, in short, I mean, we all agreed that was a fair number.
Very good. Thank you, Richard. Mr. Chair, I wanted to mention also that if naturally, given the growth chart that you showed with the average assessments by commercial, residential, condo, you can see how the commercial assessment has outpaced by far the residential assessment, the average. I think a lot of that is probably weighted based on the large new projects we've had, like on Leonard Street, for example, which, as you can see, they're our number one taxpayer, almost $1 million a year. So you would think that if you did nothing, that your percentage of taxes collected from commercial and industrial would grow higher than 80%, 81%. When you consider that Blue Star Business Park is around 2% of our tax receipts as it is, that alone would, as well as these other ones, would naturally increase our business tax base over time. So, so that's what we should hope to see as we see more business growth in town, just because of sheer number of businesses, not because of how they're taxed, but just because there are more of them, if you know what I'm saying, and larger ones at that. So I wanted to mention that I'm a fan of the dual tax rate years ago, and I'll tell you why. And it has little to do with shifting the burden to businesses. It doesn't have to do with that. Commercial property and residential property increase at different rates, different cycles, based on the economy, the real estate market, that kind of thing. So if you go back to 2004, 2005, when the real estate market was at a bubble, and then we had a crash, and then we had the Great Recession, real estate values declined. And commercial properties, some of them increased. And I remember listening to the select board meetings back then. They wanted to stay with a single tax rate because they wanted to protect the businesses. Ironically, if you look at the tax bills from the businesses during that time period, the business tax bills went up much higher than the residential tax bills because it's a factor of the tax rate and the assessment. And when the assessments go up, your tax bill is going to go up, regardless, if you don't change the rate. And the same thing happened with the residential. The tax bills kind of leveled off. So I always found it interesting that the decision was to stay with a single tax rate so that we wouldn't shift the burden to the businesses. And in effect, what happened was, because we only had one tax rate, that's exactly what happened. The shift was pushed to the businesses. So I think with two tax rates, I think that's the right way to go. I wanted to point out that on this average tax bill sheet, you can see that the average single-family assessment was up 5%, 26 to 25. Condo was up about 5.8%. And the average value for commercial and industrial, it's 2.123, went down to 1.809. That's a 15% decrease. So to my earlier point, and what Denise had mentioned, that the average assessment for commercial and industrial went down quite a bit. So if we had a single tax rate today, businesses would be seeing a 15% decrease in their tax bill, and homes would be seeing a 5 to 6% increase. So I'm with Rich when it comes to the shift. For those reasons, and to level it off a little bit, given the shift in the assessments, I'm all in agreement with either the 1.10 or even the 1.15, because I think the 1.15 levels things off even more between businesses and residential. So either one of those I would be fine with. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anybody else from the board? Questions for Denise?
I guess I'm the one with the history here, so I'm the one with the factor of one for many, many years. The reason with the previous Board of Selectmen was used to maintain that one level was because we were trying to encourage additional industrial commercial property in Norton. I still believe to this day we still are trying to do that. Now, back in, I believe you said 2022 was when you split the rate. I was not aware of that until recently that the rate had actually split. If we want to continue to draw new businesses to town, keep in mind that the businesses in town not only have a minimum impact on our expenses. First of all, they might have a call for a fire or perhaps an ambulance, which they'll have to pay for anyway. But if we want to become less residential, more commercial, we need to start thinking a bit more about that and how we can achieve that. Now, I know $84 doesn't sound like a lot of money for the most part. And obviously, even though I wouldn't have supported the increase of 1.05, it is there, and I'm not going to suggest we go backwards either. I'm not going to suggest that at all. But I think we have to maintain a certain level of property value. And the property values, if you look at the new village core commercial districts we have and the village commercial districts, every one of those is required to maintain a service on the first floor, commercial service on the first floor, and residential above it. We want to encourage more of that. I'm not sure. I'm not pleased about the residential half of that, although I am pleased about the commercial side. I don't think we should touch this at this point because we have other parcels now that are starting to look attractive to us that we might be able to encourage further development. I was on the Board of Selectmen that railroaded and pushed hard for the Blue Star. We were the ones that started the process. And as you can see from the rate chart, we benefited greatly by that increase with the top 3 taxpayers now coming from that area. We want to do more of that. And we don't want to scare anyone away. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about our businesses in town and what they do for our town through baseball, sponsorship, donations that all of us are always out knocking on doors trying to get stuff, and all the other value that they serve to our community, we, like I said, relatively very, very low cost to the town itself. It only makes sense that we try to encourage more of that to happen. 17% of our tax base is, commercial and industrial. That's not good. If you did a comparison of neighboring towns, you'd find that we're on a very, very low end of that. So us residents are all paying the taxes because we don't have that commercial tax base. Personally, if it was at 25%, I'd go to 110, 115 without any objection. But we're not there yet. We've got a ways to go. And the other part of the process is, as a previous business owner myself, I can tell you that personal property taxes can be very expensive also. If you're doing well and you have a lot of inventory, you're going to pay dearly on your taxes. So that's another factor that we have to keep in mind when we're talking about a commercial tax rate, because that personal property can also be increased quite a bit. Because if you're having a good year, you're going to have a lot more inventory and that type of stuff available. So I'm not inclined to change it one way or the other. I think the 1.05 is probably the right number for right now, but I don't think that I'm ready to bump that another 5 or 10%. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kimball. Any others?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
So there's a lot of numbers, obviously. So I'm looking at the average commercial and industrial value is 1.8. But then I'm looking at the top 10 is 20, 30 times that. So I'm looking at what, just by changing it from 1.05 to 1.10, that 1194 that the average industrial bill will increase will be 20, 30 times that for some of these businesses. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, say that again?
So I'm looking at the average tax bill with the shifts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at what the average commercial and industrial value is. It looks like it's 1.8. But then you gave us this top 10 taxpayers, and those are, some of them are valued at 20 times that. So they'll be paying $20,000 more. Is that
yes,
correct?
Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm not inclined to change it, only because I think it's a big shift to the industrial side, to a smaller portion of the pie that we're trying to cultivate here in town. And as opposed to the $85, which is the average tax bill that we would save, some of these people will be paying way more than the average that's here. And how many of these, the average home, how many fall into that range? And do we have more that are less than that? Do we have more that are a lot more that are more than that? Do we have any idea? I mean, I understand it's an average tax range, but I don't think my house is valued at that, and I don't know whose houses are or where, or how many we have and how much they're worth. So if we're saying that the average taxpayer is going to save $85 if we make this change, it might be less than that if they're, you know, whatever, depending on what their value is, right?
Right.
That's all. Thank you.
I'll just
Go ahead,
add to
Rick.
that, Roger. You know, our intent was to do it a cautious step to 1.1. If you looked at the growth last from FY '23 to today, I think it averaged just a little over $1 million. $1 million, you break that out, I think a lot of it was with new growth from housing, permitting. You know, does that continue? I don't have a crystal ball. You know, you hear there might be a little bit of a patch in the economy. So, you know, we just were, you know, keeping an eye on our residents and trying to make a judicial decision or, you know, something that would be acceptable. But I think all these numbers, what we're talking tonight, you know, it's ultimately your decision. And I think they're all logical.
I'm not saying that any of it is illogical. I'm just saying that I don't know that shifting more to a smaller piece of the pie is the way to go. And everybody wants to look out for the taxpayer, for sure. Nobody wants anybody's tax bill to go up. We'd love it for everybody's tax bill to go down. But if we're going to be trying to increase our commercial and industrial base, then putting more of a burden on them, I think, is a bad trend, because the only trend we've seen is it going up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chair.
I mean, this would be, at least I think we're all in agreement that the split is the right direction. And, you know, if we went back, this would be the fourth year with the split rate. You know, FY '22, you know, it was the single rate of 1427. So, you know, it all adds up at the end. But, yeah, I think, you know, you guys decide. That was our recommendation. But, you know.
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Kevin.
So what's really important to first of all, when we had a single tax rate, the year we went to a split dual tax rate, both tax rates went down from what the single was the year prior. So it's not the tax rate itself that drives the tax bill. It's more the assessment.
It's the values.
Huh?
Value.
Is the values.
Yeah,
If
the
you go,
value.
if you go back in history, that in even the past 3 years with the split tax rate, it's been very, very stable. It's like only a couple clicks different year to year. It's the assessment that really drives the tax bill more than the rate itself. And this year in particular, which is really something that we should all look at, is the average commercial and industrial value dropped from 2.12 million to 1.809 million.
Way down.
So the average commercial and industrial valuation dropped 15% last year to this year. So like I said, if we do nothing and we leave it at 1.05 even, the average commercial and industrial business is going to see a 15% decrease in their tax bill.
And the residential increased.
And the residential will have a 5 to 6% increase.
Yeah.
So if we go with a 1.10 shift, businesses are going to see an 18.5% decrease. If we go with a 1.10 shift, businesses are going to see a 10% decrease. So that's why I'm recommending the 1.1. If you go to a 1.15, businesses are still going to see about a 6% decrease. So given that the average assessed value has decreased so much, every year you have to reassess it, of course, because the shifts.
Right,
Next
so-
year it might be the other way. You might have to correct it the other way next year.
Yeah, so normally like when the assessments go up, the tax rate will go down. And when the values go down, the tax rate will go up higher. So they have to balance out.
So next year we might be having a completely opposite discussion, but we don't know until we see what the assessments are for next
Right.
year. But if you go with a 1.05, the average business is going to see a 15% decrease, and the average homeowner is going to see a 5 to 6% increase. So that's why I was going with Rich's suggestion to go with 1.10. At least we kind of balance it off a little bit. Businesses are still going to see a 10% decrease, but homes are only going to see a 4 to 5% increase. So I guess I can't say it any more than that. That's kind of where I'm coming from.
Thank you, Kevin.
Sure.
Anybody else? Except for Zach. Anybody but Zach.
Zach Tillis, 3 Richmond Drive. 2 questions. One, to piggyback on what Mr. Marsan said, on the industrial businesses, how many of them, do we have a number on how many of them are classified as manufacturers and are exempt from personal property taxes? That's my first question. My second question is, where do these rates compare to the immediate surrounding towns?
That was one of the slides.
So we have last year's rates. We don't have this year's rates because people are starting to get their numbers in now. And I'm sorry, what was the first question? Oh, manufacturers. I don't have that number, but it depends on the manufacturer. If they're registered with their state, then they're exempt. Right. So I don't have that number. I don't know how many that is. No, I'm sorry.
Industrial, they're getting a break already if they're designated manufacturer.
Correct.
Like Alnylam, the big pharmaceutical, that's a manufacturer.
Right.
Not paying any personal property tax.
Correct. Correct. Probably most of the big ones are not paying them at all if they're registered.
Well, they shouldn't be. Nylam's paying 443 grand a year in real estate tax.
And they're still under a tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll see that increasing as the years go on, so they'll be paying more.
And Denise, through you, Chair, also, speaking of that, there are a lot of other new businesses that are not on this top 10 taxpayer because they have it, they're under an early TIF right now. For example, Yale Appliance is a big one. So
yeah,
That might be one of those blue stars.
no, it's not. We were checking that yesterday.
Yeah, there's only 2 TIFs on the top 10.
But there are TIFs that are not on the top.
Yeah,
10.
there are
Yes.
TIFs that are not on there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Shoot.
When you talk about tax rates in surrounding communities, it's not really a great assessment to be able to do that because if their property values, if their value is higher than ours, their rate's going to be different.
Correct.
So when you do a comparison of what other towns are doing in the neighborhood, it doesn't really make any sense because if they're more affluent, they're going to have maybe they'll have a bit of a lower tax rate, but their value is higher.
Right.
So, I mean, there's so many different ways to look at it, but
Yeah, and their budgets are different, so
Sure.
that makes a huge
And
difference.
a lot of them have different splits, too.
Correct.
right,
A lot more commercial. Yeah.
right.
Right.
And
Correct.
to that point, Mansfield's tax rate is just a little more than ours for residential, but their assessment is probably 15, 20% higher. Their tax bill is about 20% higher, even though the rate doesn't reflect that. To Bob's point,
Is it the valuation?
right?
It's all valuation driven.
Luke? Lucas Frey. I'd like to hand these out for you.
Sure.
I think there's the 6 there. So that's just a little chart that I did. I pulled it off the DLS. It compares the 25 surrounding towns. And if you look at, if we do the math, you average out the 25 surrounding towns, the rate is 11.55, where Norton was 12.97 for the residential. The commercial, so that's about a 1.5 different. If you look at the commercial average, the 25 surrounding towns, the average is 17.22. Norton is 13.79. So that's like 3.5 points different. So, we definitely got a juicy commercial industrial rate here at, at the 13.79. We're almost 4 points lower than every single surrounding town on average. And on the residential rate, we're 1.5 higher if you average it out. So, if you move the shift up to the 1.10, then the residential rate goes to 12.89, so it comes down a couple ticks. If you leave it at the 1.05, it goes up a couple ticks. So, I think the 1.10 is fair. I actually agree with Kevin. I think we should go to 1.15. I know we got a lot of mom and pop shops, but we also got a lot of mom and pops too. So, and there's a lot of big businesses that are getting tax breaks, specifically some of these solar farms that are getting abatements, and, there's a lot of big businesses that come into town, and we grew up this town is a residential town, not a commercial town. We're not Mansfield, we're not Foxborough. We don't want to turn Norton Center into Mansfield Center. So, we already get a juicy rate. So there is a little bit of room to increase the commercial industrial rate, for 3.5 points lower on average. All we're doing is enticing, these huge builders and factories to move into Norton because we got such a juicy rate. So I say we give the homeowners a break and adjust the shift up a little bit.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for this, Lucas. I don't think that what this takes into account is the amount of commercial properties in each of these surrounding towns and communities as well, and how much commercial base they have, and what their split is on what they're collecting as well. So looking at these numbers, it looks like we're kind of in the middle of the road. We're not way above anybody, and we're not way below anybody. We're not taxing people out of their homes, and we're not giving huge tax breaks to anyone either. I just go back to just making sure that whatever we do, that we take into consideration all of the taxpayers in Norton. So, thanks.
Thank you. So one point I have to piggyback on that, everyone needs to understand that the rates, the tax rates, commercial, industrial, personal property, residential, all driven by the value base. So it's all the value. So if there's, double the valuation, to your point, Mr. Marsan, the valuation of the homes in Mansfield, Foxborough East, and they're much higher than Norton. Norton, it is what it is. So, the rate's the rate because we have to stay within the levy. So it just doesn't matter what the values determine the rate. And, from a commercial standpoint, the commercial payers are paying between 3 and 4x total dollar value comparative to the homes already. So, that's my major point. They already have because of the value of their asset is that much greater. So they have the privilege to pay 3 to 4x more. It doesn't matter what the rate is. Again, we shouldn't be focusing on the rate at all. It just doesn't matter. It's the valuation. Right. And, the commercial properties, commercial, industrial, and personal property fall in that bucket as well.
It does, yes.
So with that, it's between a 3 and 4x of total dollar volume that they are paying in tax. So I think that's probably the most important part to understand. And I think a 1.05 myself, I think that is, the past 2 years we had the same hearing, and I voted in favor of keeping that. It's a little bit of an edge. I got on the board right after it was split. It was split by the board previous to me being elected. So that's mine. I pay a lot of real estate tax, both residential and commercial, in multiple states, so I know it intimately. And the valuation is it. And
Correct.
Tax rate means nothing. It's the valuation.
It's on the value, yes.
And like I said, the commercial, industrial, and personal property are paying a 3 to 4x more than the homeowners, just because of valuation. Like I said, they're privileged to be able to own the property and have a high valuation, so they get to pay more. So,
Jim,
yep. Go ahead.
Finish. You done?
I'm in favor of keeping the rate at the 1.05 as well.
Denise, can we talk a bit about personal property?
Sure.
So, can you give us just an overview of what that is and what you tax?
Sure. So personal property is depending what your business is. So say you're a salon. Hair salon, it would be like, your chairs, all your inventory, anything that you need to use for that. Restaurant, it would be all the equipment like your tables, your chairs, your Coke machines, your coffee machines, things like that. So it all depends what the business is, but.
So the last I knew, unless it's changed, if you had a pre-manufactured home, a mobile home, those were taxed on the personal property tax. They were not taxed under the normal.
Well, like a
tax.
mobile park, you mean? So that is, yeah, so it's personal property, I believe. We bill the landlord for everything, and then they divide it up between the mobile homes.
But
So it's just
would
one
you
bill
agree
for
that
them.
most of that bill is based on the value of the property itself, not on the
So
units that are
it's
sitting on it?
right. So it's valued on the property, but we also have an area that we have like how many units are there, and then we tax that. So we figure that out as well.
Yeah, another concern I have about personal property is if I'm a property owner now and I have to have inventory, a salon, my own store, I had a retail store,
Right.
and I'm buying from overseas. I'm going to have to pay these tariffs on top of it. So another factor that I would take into consideration is I'm going to be paying more for the product I'm bringing in, therefore I'm bringing in less. So what do we do when our personal property taxes start dropping because the businesses just don't maintain the amount of normal inventory they might normally have? I mean, how does that adjust things? Anyway. I mean, we're using, I guess what I'm trying to say is we're using values on your spread, on your sheet that's showing us what you think we're going to take in personal property tax for the year, but it may be less. Because
Could
my
be less, yeah.
inventory's
So,
down.
yeah, well, we'll have our company go out and take, they go out and they review all the personal property. And it does get depreciated over the years, so that does go down. But yeah, they do get hit twice, those businesses.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chair, I just, one last question I forgot to ask you yesterday, Denise. So the real estate valuation, you use actual sales price as kind of like the baseline, right?
Right.
And then you mentioned it's like 93%. You kind of resettles the assessment across the board. You use those as the reference points, I guess, when you reassess every
So
property.
we have to use, we're always 2 years behind. So we used all the sales from 2024. They set the values for 2026, all those home buyers did that.
Gotcha. Which, by the way, I got this from a realtor. That's how many homes sold in Norton in
I've seen that.
2024.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 180, 200 homes.
Yes.
Now, how do you manage it with commercial and industrial? Because we don't have nearly as many sales. in those.
So the valuation company does that. I'm not a commercial appraiser, but they look around everywhere. They're not just looking at Norton. They're looking at what warehouses are selling for,
Gotcha.
things like that. So yeah, they're not just staying within the community. And they have all different websites that they use to get all their valuations.
Very good. Okay, my last point, Mr. Chair. So if we select the 1.05, then the average residential homeowner is going to see a 5.5% increase in their tax bill. The average condo is going to see around a 6.2% increase in their tax bill. And the average business is going to see a 15% decrease in their tax bill. That's based on the 1.05. The 1.10 is softened on both sides. So it's for 1.10, it's 4.6, 5.0, and a 10% decrease for businesses. That's why I'm leaning towards 1.10, because not only your board is recommending it, but which you're much more in tune with this than we are, but also I think it's fair across the board, still giving businesses a break, by the way.
That's what I was going to say. Even with the 1.10, with the changes in the valuations of residentials going up and commercials coming down, it almost is like a status quo to what they're paying this year. Yeah.
Oh, compared to last year,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
If I could add to that, that's good for this year. Next year could be the other way around.
Could be.
It could be commercial, could be higher, residential could be lower. And
It's going to be.
I can tell you that I'm not going to be the guy to say, let's drop it from 110 to 105.
Yeah.
You know, I think we need to look at this as not on a yearly basis, but kind of project ahead what we anticipate is going to happen in the very near future.
So our sales haven't gone down yet, just to let you know. They're still increasing. They haven't even flattened out yet. We might see that going forward now, but for 25, they haven't decreased. They're still increasing.
Yeah,
So
again,
just to let you guys know that.
my concern is
No, I know what you're saying.
2023, I wouldn't have gone 1.05.
Yeah.
But now we're here. I'm not going to be the guy to say, okay, if you want a $565,000 house, I'm going to now take you $85 back. I'm not going to do that. We're there now. But I don't feel comfortable going up that extra 5 or 10% at this point. That's my only concern. Based on what's going on in the world today, I have a concern about that.
Anybody else?
We'd have to make a motion.
I think we took care of that.
He's been beaten to death.
How do you do the vote now, Mr. Chair?
So we do, well, do we take the vote? We close the public hearing for discussion?
I should close the public hearing.
So take the motion to close the public hearing.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, so this is a public hearing, so the public can ask questions. You maybe want to ask if there's any questions or any comments from the public first.
There any questions from the public? Anybody? I thought everybody that wanted to speak already spoke.
Okay. Yep, fine, thank you.
It's just
Okay.
Good point, though.
it's only one.
We see you.
Oh, no.
Shamed him into it.
Bob Briscoe, 3 Brenda Road. I listened to a lot of information. I don't really have the presentation, but I am a homeowner. And also, looking at the businesses in town and looking where we are as homeowners. And I think it affects all of us. And we all know that we need to have more industry in town to help us. But we also need to keep a level plane here. And I don't know about how everybody feels here, but the crystal ball tells me that we're going to see a decline in business and revenues and stuff as we move forward. And it's going to hurt a lot of companies. So I think we just ought to pedal very lightly on what we do and try to keep things level as we can and hope for the best as we move forward, because you can go forward, but it's hard to go backwards. So that's just my thoughts, and a lot of good information from you folks. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Briscoe.
Okay. So public hearing's closed. Right? Anybody else? No? Closed? Okay. So
Yes.
discussion?
Yes on the closing the public hearing.
We already took that. We took that.
Did we take a vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we leave the split at 1.05%.
Second.
Okay. Motion in a second. Discussion? Kevin?
Might come back to this, but I'll say no for now.
Denise?
On the fence. No. I'm going to say yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes?
And I am a yes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
reconsider the vote, please.
Okay.
I'll vote yes.
Okay. Denise?
Yes.
Bob? Roger?
Yes.
And I am a yes.
So, Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would just really like to thank the Assessors Board and the Assessors Office for all their work that they put into this. This is a laborer's task that you go through every year. If I could make a suggestion that, so if we, as two boards, could get together earlier in the process, I think it would help the Select Board more, so that we're not trying to absorb all this information
Sure. So
shortly before we vote.
the one issue that we do have is that everything is on a time restraint, because by the time we get the new growth in and hear back from the state and get this hearing in and get it in before the holiday, before Thanksgiving, it's tough, because that's when everybody puts theirs in and there's a long waiting line. So we would like to do it early so that we don't have an issue with them not getting set in time. So we can try to do that, definitely. I'll definitely try to get the valuation company to get the new growth in earlier so that we can get into the state earlier.
And,
And go from there.
it's almost incumbent upon us, I mean, we could go to your meetings as well and sit in the audience and listen to the information too. So, we should be doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, all right.
Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Denise, we have three more votes you need to, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that. Too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we adopt the residential exemption. I guess I'll do it in the positive. So my motion is to adopt a residential exemption.
Second.
Remind me again what that was.
So, okay,
So-
so I'll just remind you, if when Bob says he wants to adopt it, if you don't want it, then you want to vote no.
But the residential exemption was what exactly?
So the residential exemption would be, it would put, for the lower homes, their tax rate would go to the higher homes. So if you're in a below the average home, their rate would decrease, but the upper value homes would increase. So you're putting that there, you're going to allocate it to the upper level homes, to the most expensive homes.
So correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we actually need to vote on these other exemptions unless we're adopting them.
I believe we have to,
The
we have to vote
residential,
on
the
them.
small business and the open space.
We always did adopt, we always did vote on them. And I think it's to give the assessor a clear, defined example, I mean, just so she knows what the board is thinking.
I
So-
mean, you're welcome to. There's no harm in it. I'll just clarify with the residential exemption that would shift taxes from the
Lower value homes
Lords.
to the higher value homes.
residents to the landlords.
Well, I suppose it could happen that way. If your landlord's rent goes up, then you're going to end up paying more. I
And
mean,
then they
your taxes
might
go up, you
pass
pay
it
more
down
rent.
to their tenants.
It's passed
So-
right through.
I mean, what I'm suggesting is, when I suggest we adopt a residential exemption, I'm voting no. I'm not voting yes for it. I'm just following the process that we've done in the past. We've always had to take these 4 votes, and I would encourage you to do so.
Right, you're making the motion in favor, but no.
I'm making a favorable motion, but I'm voting no for it.
Correct.
And I probably do the same on the other 2 also.
Okay.
Did you already make the
So
motion?
we have a motion?
Second.
Okay. Kevin?
So discussion. I believe that a no action, same thing as a no vote, but I'll follow Bob's lead. He's got all the 24 years of experience. I'll vote no on this.
Okay. Denise?
No.
Bob?
No.
Roger?
No?
And I am a no as well.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we adopt a small commercial exemption.
I have a second? Yep. Okay. Kevin?
No.
Denise?
No.
Bob?
No.
Roger?
No?
Did we adopt this last year?
No.
No.
No, so this is something that you vote on, like, you can change this every year. You know, if you want to take it one year, you can, the next year, you don't have to vote
Yeah.
Yeah.
for it.
Okay.
In
Thank you.
open space, we don't even have any, so you really probably don't have to vote on that because we don't even have any to vote on.
Okay.
I just let you know what it is because it's part of the whole thing.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you all.
Now we have everyone asleep out there.
Okay. Now we're gonna.
Did they want to, excuse me, Mr. Dorney? Do you want to close your meeting?
Yeah.
Close their meeting.
Good call.
He's adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have the 6:30 PM public hearing.
Nailed it, right on time.
Public hearing on the application of Puff and Pour Inc., DBA Puff and Pour Beer, Wine, and Smoke, manager Neha Patel, for the transfer and change of manager of the Section 15 off-premises wines and malt beverages license from Aranita Spirits LLC, DBA 123 Beer, Wine, and Smoke, manager Jerry Alessandrados, to be utilized at 57 West Main Street, Unit C, Norton, Mass. 02766.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we open the stated public hearing.
Second.
Second, motion and a second. Kevin? Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes?
Yes. And I'm a yes. Okay. So we're open. Mr. Town Manager, can you walk us through this?
Thank you. So as stated, it's simply changing the current manager of record from Neha Patel to Jerry Alessandratos. It's merely a package store. There's no consumption of any alcohol in the premises. They also have a tobacco license through the Board of Health. And I believe we have a representative here.
Someone here? Okay.
Good evening, Select Board. My name is Attorney Thomas Jafarian. Behind me here is Ms. Patel, actually, who will be the change of manager, but also just for a correction, it's also for a transfer of license as well, not just the change of manager. Is that?
Correct.
Okay.
So just a couple of quick questions, if you don't mind. So this is I see Puff and Pour on here a lot, but I haven't seen, I don't see that on any signs down at your property. It says 123 Beer and Wine. Is that the place?
Yes.
But-
123 Beer and Wine, yeah.
But goes by a different name, but that's the name that you use? Because I don't see 123 Beer and Wine on here anywhere.
It's doing business average-wise, right? BBA and so the paragraph.
So this is a change of ownership. This is, Ms. Patel is buying the premises, changing the name to Puff and Pour.
Got it.
It's currently 123. So
Okay.
currently, without the ABCC's approval of this, the transaction would not go through, nor would the lease that has there's an intent for the lease that won't go through yet either. This is all contingent upon approval by you fine folks and as well as the ABCC.
And didn't the owners just open that place? Didn't we just, we didn't, I think we just recently gave the license to this place. It wasn't that long ago. It was within the last year, I think, right? Didn't you?
As far as the current owners?
Yeah.
That I'm unsure of. No, I believe they've been in business for quite some time.
Jen?
They did recently get that license not too long ago. It was in prior ownership before this current owner, so it has changed hands since we have put it in place.
So this is the second change? for
So
the
this will
same-
be the third.
The third change for the same location?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I see the licenses come and go, and I see the address, and I'm saying, wait a minute, didn't we just do that?
I wasn't aware of that, sir, but thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Jen, we have all the sign-offs from all town departments?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
so the wine and malt that you're going to be opening, when you say smoke, are you selling tobacco products also?
Tobacco products as well, correct, yes.
Okay. Anything else other than tobacco and wine and beer? And
Beer, wine, tobacco, and the lottery, state lottery.
Yeah, okay. All right, makes sense. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, if it clears everything out, Jen, everything is square with all the building department, Board of Health, everybody signed off?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's all I need to know. As long as the department heads are good. Okay, any discussion, questions? Okay, I'm looking for a motion.
How about a
Mr. Chair?
Motion to close the
Yeah.
hearing.
I make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Motion in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, public hearing's closed. Any further discussion? Still none? Okay, let's do a motion.
Make the motion.
Mr.
Chair.
Straws. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the application of Puff and Pour Incorporation, DBA Puff and Pour Beer, Wine, and Smoke, manager Neha Patel, for the transfer change of manager of the Section 15 R premises wine and malt beverage license from Antonia Spirits LLC.
Second.
There's more than there is in there.
I was going to say this.
Oh.
There's got to be more.
Yeah, doing business.
On the, yeah.
But wait, there's more.
Okay. DBA 123 Wine and Smoke Manager Jerry, oh my God, Alice Xanthus, to be utilized at 57 West Main Street, Unit C, Newark, Massachusetts.
I'll second.
Motion and a second?
Discussion? Did we include the transfer of the license in that motion?
She did.
He did, thank
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Okay. Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Unanimous.
Congratulations.
You need a roll call.
Yeah, I think you need a roll call.
Need a
on
roll
that.
call. on
Oh,
it.
we do.
Welcome.
Okay. Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Members of the select board, I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
back in my doc days prior to 2019, this board had a policy on what would happen if any kind of violation happened on the property when it came to liquor licenses. It was a very stringent policy. It was adopted by the board. I have not heard or seen of it since then, and I'm wondering if we can look back and find out what happened to that policy, if it was abandoned at some point or just forgotten. But it was a policy where we had certain guidelines. If you had a violation, there were a certain amount of days that would be included in it.
Was this a select board
It
policy?
was a select board policy.
Roughly when?
It was 2019 and before. We had it for many years.
We
So
can,
anytime an applicant would come, we would remind them to be careful, because we had a very stringent policy on if you're a first-time violator, you could lose your license for 3 days. If you came back again, it could be 15 days. It could be revocation at some point. So I don't know what happened to that policy, but it's going to be in an archive here somewhere. And I don't think it was ever abolished. I just think it was forgotten.
We don't have it in bylaw?
It was a bylaw.
It was a bylaw.
Should still be in there. I don't know.
oh, if it's a bylaw, that's a lot easier to look up than a potential policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will look into it and report back.
Okay, thank you. So back to licenses and permits, application of Turnpike Auto Sales, DBA Furnace Brook Motors to amend Class 2 license. Mr. Town Manager.
Yeah, so this is the owner, Jacob Stone, is looking to amend his Class 2 license, a used car dealership, to create two separate addresses in order to lease out a portion of the premises. So the long-term plan is to have another used car dealership and half of the lot, and to split this lot in half. Before you this evening is just to reduce his license to half of the property. So at a future date, the other owner of half of the lot would come back and ask for a license. And the applicant is here this evening, if you'd like to hear from him, Mr. Chair.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
How's
Give us a
everybody
rundown.
doing?
Welcome.
Thank you. Did you have some questions, or do you want me to just explain what?
Yeah,
he
what's your
kinda
plan?
just
What's
said,
your plan?
summarize?
Yeah.
Sure. I think what he just said was pretty accurate for the most part. It wasn't my intentions to talk about all that tonight. All I was trying to do right this second was amend my license. And the amendment would be to reduce the car count to tenant A, which is the side that is exposed on Pleasant Street. Currently, we're occupying the whole space. We have a certificate of occupancy for the whole space, and it's a 73 car lot license. We're looking to just amend that right now, reducing it down to whatever you see fit. Hopefully you guys all have a copy of it. If not, I have one or couple copies I can share with you.
We have
Okay,
it. Yeah,
perfect. So yeah, on Pleasant Street side, whatever you guys see fit for a license count would be great. And that's really all that I'm looking to do today.
Seems pretty cut and dry to me.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I don't know how cut and dry it is, but I want to make sure I understand this. There's a building on the property now.
Yes, sir.
It's the old, yeah. Are you planning on doing anything with that, or
In regard to what? Just,
either business?
How are you gonna share that? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How would you share that?
It's already been, I believe, I'm under the impression that it's already been separated. I've talked to Deputy Chief Robbins about it, the building inspector. Nick is gone now, but I've spoken with Ed quite frequently. We've already gone through a bunch of permits that have all been closed out. I believe he notified the state and whomever it's concerns to have two tenants available. We've separated the space. Now there is a tenant A and tenant B. So I'm going, as the the property owner and the business owner, I'm going to move my business to tenant A and leaving a space that will be hopefully another tenant, which is I'm referring to as tenant B.
So on Old Colony Road, you've got parking spaces there.
Yep.
That's
well,
what you're going to abandon at this point?
That is correct.
The building itself,
Yep.
what are your intentions to do with that building?
Well, currently I have a certificate of occupancy for the entire building. For right now, it will be used as an office space.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to find out,
Yeah, okay.
just to be clear. So you're gonna maintain the building and everything on Pleasant Street? And then you would lease out the other property on Old Colony to someone else?
Correct.
Okay.
That's my intentions.
And how many parking spaces do you have now?
There's a total, I believe, of 98, I believe.
For the whole property?
Yes.
And how many are you licensed to have?
73.
So you want to reduce that?
I'd like to reduce it for, yes, for the Pleasant Street side.
Do you have a recommendation?
I would like, I mean, there's 48 parking spaces available. I think 40 would be ideal. If you want more would be great, but I'm not expecting more than 40.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
I believe when we gave you the license to begin with, that some of the parking had to go with the building. We had to have some parking available for the building. I think that you were requesting more parking spaces.
That's
for
why I
your
believe we
business.
settled on 73.
Right, as
originally.
opposed to I think there's like 20-something that's available for the building there already?
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, so I've been doing a little math. I think we're all aligned here because there are parking spaces and there are spaces that he wants for his vehicles. So the ratio, if we keep the same ratio, 40 is a good number for your vehicles. So that's what will be my recommendation, is we approve 40.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I believe in the past, any time a business like this came before us, I don't care if it's 40 or 48, I don't care.
Sure.
But usually the building commissioner or building inspector would give us some guidance on what was allowed there. You know what I mean? It wasn't, we didn't make that decision. They would come before us and say, this is what we recommend you do. I don't have a problem with the 48. If you've got space for 48, that's fine with me. As long as the building inspector doesn't have an issue in the future.
Sure.
You know? He didn't indicate there was a...
Oh, no,
Okay.
Ed's been to the property several times.
Okay.
So that was going to be my question to Jen. This is all signed off by everybody and with recommendations from...
So I did ask Ed, the building commissioner, to specify, and he said if both are going to be car dealerships, Unit A would need 16 spots for employees and customers and 50 per applicant. The number of cars allowed under their license total of 66. The small rear office would need 2 spots for employees and customers, and the number of cars allowed under their license, but no more than 23. As per the applicant said, there are 73 spaces.
So what does that mean?
That's a lot of...
It sounds like out of the 48, he wants 16 spots to be for employees and customers.
Okay.
Of the 48?
It says Unit A would need 16 spots for employees and customers.
16. Unit A. 16 spots for, and then 40...
There were 48 total there, so deduct the 16.
32
Oh, okay.
spots is he's allowing.
So 32. So Ed wants 32 parking spots plus 16 for employees.
That's this is the first I'm hearing of it, but that math, yeah, that is correct. Based off of his 16 that he's saying he wants for employees and parking customers.
Through you, Chair.
I think
Yes.
that's a little high. I mean, I don't think that there's many people constantly there. It's not many employees.
Only
It's more
during the
important.
Halloween parade.
Yeah, exactly. Which was nice.
Quick
Yeah,
question.
thank you.
On the map with the building, the majority of the building is Unit A that you'd be maintaining. There's just a small, looks like 300 and something square feet.
Yeah,
for Unit B.
365-ish, I think.
And so you'd have separate entrances for both of those, like,
Yeah, there's one entrance on Old Colony and another entrance on Pleasant Street.
okay.
So
Vice Chair?
I'm inclined to go with the building inspector's recommendation.
32 spots, yeah.
32 spots for the business and 16 for
Customers.
customers and employees. And making that change, and that's going to be on that Pleasant Street side.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion that we change the license to have split the unit and make the Pleasant Street side 32 units for the business and 16 for employees and for the public.
And amend the Class 2 license accordingly.
Yeah, I would.
Yes.
Second. I'll second.
Okay.
I still have another question. So I'm looking at the plan that you gave us, and you're showing 48 on the Pleasant Street side. It looks like you have a combination of 48 again on the Old Colony side.
I think it's 38.
38. So for a total of
It's 41.
86.
586, yeah.
So on a pro-business side of it, I don't want you to be short-handed either. So if for some reason this other
You got 48.
idea doesn't work out, I don't want us to restrict it to 32 when you've got plenty of space to put more.
Yeah, I would hope I would be able to re-amend it if anything were to change in the future.
Yeah,
and go back to the 73 if ever needed.
If you could always come back and go through the process again.
I understand that.
Yeah,
Which
sure.
I would.
Yeah, I would encourage you to do that. If you're not successful on the other side, if say somebody doesn't want all that space,
Correct.
and you can utilize the back of the building for your employee parking and customer parking,
Right.
and utilize the front of it for selling, I mean, I would encourage you to come back and talk to us about that.
Absolutely. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Any others? So
The motion.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Unanimous. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Okay. That one. We are on to,
Lucky Green Ladies.
yep, Lucky Green Ladies. Amend the host community agreement between the town of Norton and Lucky Green Ladies LLC. Okay.
So this is, as background, there are 3 marijuana cannabis licenses available as a whole. Lucky Green Ladies does hold 1, Nova holds 1, and there's 1 available. This before you this evening actually does not pertain to any of the retail. This is a delivery that's requesting amending their current delivery license to a courier license. So this does not count against the 3 licenses the town has. So this one should be straightforward because the Lucky Green Ladies lease is ending, so they need to not use the property anymore. And the difference will be they will pick up the merchandise from another store and deliver it to another store, whether that's located in Norton or another community, depending on where the delivery is called for. If it's in Norton, we get the 3%. If not, we don't.
Through you, Chair.
Yes.
So just going to clarify, Mark. So changing from the delivery operator, which would have been home deliveries, to courier, which is business to business. Is that fair to say?
Business too. It could be a home.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
The way I understand it is that they are no longer going to have an establishment that they're going to be storing their product at and delivering it. All they are is transporting it from whatever dispensary has it to somebody's home.
Correct.
Okay.
And Mr. Chair, I believe, was she here a couple meetings ago when we had the discussion, and she
Yes.
mentioned that she was going to come back with this further amendment, and
Yes.
we advised her to talk to Jen and accelerate it, which apparently we did. Am I right there?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what she was asking for that night, and our attorney reviewed it and approved it. It's in line with the other HCA's.
Great.
That was my question. KP, bless it, went over it, drafted this, done?
Yes, it's a very slight amendment to the existing HCA. KP Law is good with it.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we allow the change of Lucky Green Ladies to go from a marijuana delivery operator to a marijuana delivery courier, changing their license to state that. Is that accurate?
Yes, as to approve the HCA that says that, essentially.
Just approve the HCA.
All right, to approve the HCA that allows Lucky Green Ladies LLC to go from a marijuana delivery operator to a marijuana delivery courier.
I think that's
Mr. Chair? So to add on to Roger's motion, basically to amend the host community agreement as written in the contract here.
Okay, motion, second?
Second.
Okay. Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes,
Roger?
Yes?
And I am a yes as well.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
one question we do have, I think we all have, is who signs this? Because the way the back page is written, it's not us.
I think is it you, Mark?
it's the town manager.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
One less thing to sign.
Okay. Next item is a host community agreement between the town of Norton and Maruti Norton LLC. I have to recuse myself, so Mr. Vice Chair. Mr.
Thank
Town
you.
Manager.
Mr. Town Manager, you want to give us some background on this, please?
Sure. This is an application for our last host community agreement. This would be the third. It has been reviewed by legal, approved by KP Law. Everything's in order. I've reviewed the finances, the HCA in a level of detail. I'm satisfied. I've actually worked with Attorney Romano before, and he's here this evening to answer any questions you might have. This looks like an application that is also straightforward, has been approved by our legal counsel.
Thank you. And Jen, all the necessary signatures have been received from this? Have we gone through everything on this?
In painstaking detail.
Okay. How are you? Would you like to introduce yourself and just to give us a quick rundown on what the proposal is?
Of course. Thank you very much. My name is Valerio Romano. I'm an attorney with Omnis Law. I don't know if we want to do the PowerPoint that I present.
Up to
I
the
mean, we don't have
board.
to belabor it if you think it would be.
I don't think we need to.
Okay.
We've got all of
Yeah.
the paper here that.
Yeah, I agree. So I was a co-author of the ballot initiative, which ended cannabis prohibition in Mass. I've cited well over 100 cannabis businesses in Massachusetts. I've worked with some members of this group on a number of them. This is an excellent group that we bring before you, and I want to thank you to the vice chair. The chair's not here, and to the town manager for. I've been working with the town manager for some days on this, and Nicole Costanzo, your attorney for the town, as well. What I bring before you is a great team and a great location. We have local representation on the team. We have extensive cannabis experience. We have doctors, cardiologists, pharmacists. We really bring a really strong team for you. We have more than enough financing on our own. We don't have to go raise money. We've opened a number of other retailers, this team and our sister companies as well across the Commonwealth. With the host community agreement, we'll be off to the races. We have the engineers and architects and builders ready to go. It's a simple project. It's really just revamping a portion of the strip mall that's there at 246 East Main Street. One of the things I heard earlier, just briefly, was either a policy or it might be in your zoning bylaw, maybe from 2019, the alcohol policy, where if a liquor store sells to a minor, they might lose their license for 3 days, and multiple events, maybe 15 days, and it just takes a lot of effort. For these guys, if they sold cannabis to a minor, they would get shut down on the very first time, right? So this is a far more regulated industry, cannabis. So that's really what I bring you. And the host community agreement is still just the first step in the process. It's really almost like a stamp from you guys. Hey, go ahead and apply. The planning board is a special permit granting authority here, so we still have to go before the planning board for a special permit. This is just kind of like a ticket to keep applying. With this, we'll be able to go to the Cannabis Control Commission, and they have extensive oversight. I know this isn't your first rodeo here with cannabis. I actually participated a long time ago in your RFI process as well. So I've been working in Norton, and we really look forward to a favorable vote. And I'm really happy to answer any questions about the location or the team or the way we intend to implement it.
Questions?
Yes. The first one's for the town manager. Is this the only applicant that we've received for marijuana retail for the third license?
Yes.
Okay. And then for attorney, I'm sorry, I forget your name.
Bono, like
Yeah.
the cheese.
Is this just the retail location, or is there any sort of manufacturing or packaging, nothing else?
Purely retail, no
Purely
on-site
retail.
consumption, no manufacturing, just purely retail in the 2,000 square feet.
Okay, great.
Tony, you mentioned that you had, they had other locations
Yes,
in
so
Massachusetts.
our sister, the primary, the managing member has a location in Fall River, which is open and successful. We've been open for at least a year now, not longer. And then our sister company has one in Pepperell, and one in Waltham. And so we have, they're separate companies, but they're family and they know each other. And so we have a lot of experience doing this. They're all successful. We have letters in Pepperell where we're open. We have a letter from the police chief and the town manager saying that the sister company is absolutely a pleasure to do business with and have no issues whatsoever. With our experience, we are an incredibly compliant company, and we really knock it out of the park. It's like an Apple store. It's really a step above what some other locations. I've been doing this for a long time. I did this in California back when it was just dispensaries opening up in Oakland and Venice Beach, and that was a lot different than the oversight that Massachusetts has. So, and then Taunton as well. I did some. So, yep.
One more question.
Yes,
Sorry.
sure.
I know, no doubt you guys will comply with the Cannabis Commission's requirements, but I'm just kind of trying to visualize how would you handle the security of the delivery of the retail goods into the facility? Would that come through the back door? How would that?
Yeah, and some of that will be worked out with the planning board as a special permit granting authority, but we
Okay.
would certainly make sure. So when there's a delivery, they have to have a manifest.
Yeah.
We have to know ahead of time that the delivery is coming. And then when the delivery comes, the agent will be badged and escorted by one of our staff the whole time. Hopefully we'll be able to get them in the back door. If not, we'll work with the planning board on making sure there's a secure route through the front. But I've opened these in Harvard Square where there was no parking, and you really just make sure that it's secure and you have totes and you can bring them in that are locked up. So we'll make sure that the deliveries are secure.
Because this
and
isn't
they're
the same
locked.
plaza as Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
very busy location. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, and that's why we're lucky enough to have 46 parking spaces there too. So
Yeah.
we'll have ample parking, and we'll be able to have a parking space dedicated for when the delivery comes right in front. If the planning board requires, we'll do whatever we need to do to make sure. And we've never had a problem with any delivery at any of our dispensaries. We have another one in sort of a strip mall, the one in Pepperell, that we have a letter from the police chief and the town manager saying how well operation is. It's also in a strip mall. With much tighter parking than this, and we've never had any issues with delivery. So we'll continue the same level of security.
Great, thanks.
Mr. Chair, it appears from our map, our zoning map, and it's really hard to see on my phone, that this is in the marijuana overlay district.
It is, and I've checked it 4 different ways, and I can explain that to you if you'd like, but it
Thank
is.
you. It looks like it. Thank you.
It is.
You would they would let you know at the planning board for sure if they.
And I spoke with the planner, and he said, "You're good to go. Next stop is Mr. Gould."
I noticed that one of the co-founders is also a manager owner of the Quick Stop that's right next door, right? It's
Here.
kind of in the same parking lot.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay.
That's why we bring local business as part of our team as well. It's not just an outside group from Colorado coming in to try to make money in Norton, right? It's local folks as well. So we bring the local team and the expertise that we need to really do one of these exceptionally.
Thank you. Looking for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the host community agreement between the town of Norton and Marudi Wellness Norton LLC.
Second.
Motion and second. Kevin?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Thanks for hanging around.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, one last question. What's the timeline you're thinking?
Well, I mean, with the Cannabis Control Commission, it can be slow. We probably wouldn't be open for 9 months. You know, yeah, I can't imagine it being a lot quicker than that, given the number of votes that we have to get through at the commission level and all the different inspections in between. I mean, we can hustle. Nobody can do it faster than we can, but it just is the way the CCC is.
Great, thanks.
Of course.
Mr. Chairman, that brings up a suggestion I made in a meeting a while back. We should probably put a time limitation on these.
Our attorney did.
Did he? What was it? What was it?
It was 9 months for CCC and 16 months for final approval, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it's 9 months for our provisional approval, and then 16 months for our final, with the option for you to give us up to another 16 months. Let's say we come back in 16 and we're not open for some reason. If we've made significant forward progress, and you're like, these guys are working on it, they're not just sitting on this HCA, you may give us some more time. But Attorney Costanzo did do that in the HCA.
Yeah, I just bring that up because I don't want to have a license hanging around out there forever and not
I don't want to either.
somebody taking advantage of it.
I mean, my success rate is
We
getting
have
them
a
open.
couple out there now. We're keeping an eye on the liquor side. so-
Yeah, we'll be open as quickly as anybody can be.
All right, thank you.
Thank you to the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gould. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody want to yell to Alec if he's still out in the hallway?
Don't have to ask him twice.
So next up is the declaration that the Highway Department's 1994 Elgin sweeper as surplus. So I'm guessing, is this the one that's sitting out back?
I have so many questions about this. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is the Elgin sweeper is in its second life, has high mileage, high hours, and has been repurposed multiple times. It was replaced in 2024. It needs a lot of repairs. That, along with the police department, will have a couple other vehicles for surplus on the next agenda to add to this. But that's the scoop with this Elgin that has done.
We're not going to see this over in Mansfield being used for something else, right?
I mean, unless they are, looking for the bottom of the barrel. But yes, whoever's bidding on the auction, give us a good price. We're hoping for $5,000.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
Yeah, I would, obviously, I remember this thing when we bought it, actually. And it has been through 3 or 4 lives, I think, through the department. They have an ability down there at the highway department to keep these things going from when they shouldn't be going, but probably long overdue. But while on the subject of surplus, I believe that we should start looking at some of the other products and vehicles we have in town, too. I think that's something you've got an eye on, Mark, as far as finding out what we need and what we don't need. From what I can gather in the last few years, I've noticed that our fleet has increased, and what we used to specify and insist on was when we buy a new vehicle, it has to go. The old one has to go. And what I'm seeing is a lot of them being repurposed, so our fleet continues to grow and grow and grow, and I think we need to get an assessment of what we own, what we need, and what we don't need. Obviously, not because we own them, which is fine, but we're paying taxes, we're paying insurance on it, registration, You know, I just think there's a lot of stuff out there we don't need, but this one here definitely has done its tour. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I make a motion that we declare the Highway Department's 1994 Elgin sweeper as surplus.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you, and I will reassure you that we're not adding to the fleet anytime soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Last but most certainly not least, Reese Across America. Mrs. Pat Tarantino going to do a presentation for us.
Thank you so much for your patience tonight.
Yes, thank you.
It's always interesting.
Well.
You know, I used to sit with the FinCom, all that stuff. But yes, I'm Pat Tarantino, and this is our 7th year. Pull the microphone down. I hate these things. 7th year, and happy to say we have full coverage again this year, thanks to many of the people in this room and the ones that were here before. This is our 7th year, but it's like the 30th for Reese Across America in itself. And I was just looking it up. They have over 5,200 locations last year, and that's at sea, international, and in this country. So in case any of you do not know what it is, because I'm hoping people out there are going to come, Mayor will be there, Mr. Gould will be there, and all of you obviously are welcome to come. You're welcome to speak. And we have Representative Howitt coming so far. I'm waiting to hear from some of the others. But this is a program that we raise money all year. So even though we have raised enough for this year, we're still collecting for next year. We purchased wreaths on December 13th. I don't know if you can zoom in on that instead of me. I'd love it. Can you do that? So December 13th is a Saturday. We get together and the event starts. There you go. Which way should I turn it?
Other way.
Oh, my grandson.
Is that good? December 13th. At noon, we start at the Common Cemetery, which is the cemetery right across from St. Mary's Church. There is a script that is pre-written. We do add stuff to it, take some out. We have a wonderful MC, Mr. Kimball, who does this for us. And the same script is written and spoken out loud across the country at the same time. So we start at noon and figure the savings, the Eastern savings time, whatever, Central, Mountain, at the same time throughout the country, which is pretty powerful to me. We then finish the ceremony, and everyone who is there is welcome to bring a wreath to a veteran's gravesite. We say their name out loud, we thank them for their service, and we take a moment to just think about their life. In this state, we have pre-revolutionary cemetery plots. And then we place the wreaths, and then we go on to the next one. And that's basically it. I've been told people find it a moving ceremony. It's my joy to do this in memory of my husband and all the other veterans in town. So I thank you for letting me bring this forward so the town can see. I thank you all for your support every year. And what else was I going to say? Town hall. Oh, if anybody does want to stop by and drop off money, they're $17 a wreath. You can drop them off at, Estelle's going to love me for this. She's at home sick. But you can drop it off at Estelle's office. She then will get them to me. You can also go on Facebook. Reese Across America Norton has their own site. You can get in touch with me. I'll tell you how you can get them to me. I might need a truck this year to help with some of the other things that we move around. I know I had several volunteers last year. Yeah. Once we're done with that, we go on to the other cemeteries. Thank you and good night.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
I would encourage everybody in town that is available on that date and at that time to just come and witness the ceremony that's put on and participate if they'd like. It is powerful and it's moving, And it's well done by Pat and the group of people she has working for her. So I thank you, Pat, for all of your
Thank you.
hard work on that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. All right. Other business, topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance. Mr. Town Manager? Anything?
None.
None?
None, sir.
No old business, so Town Manager's report?
Just briefly, I'd like to thank everyone involved with the 32nd Annual Chartley Parade. There were over 60 groups. Thank everyone that participated. I think I'm still recovering from the sugar high, thanks to Chair Rich's contribution and others. Also, just reporting back on the DeFossis Peterson food drive, that was a huge success. Over 6,000 pounds of food, co-sponsored by Marston's Upholstery Shop, C2 Foundation, and the Norton Police. If anyone has any donations, keep them coming to cupboardofkindness.org, and that will help local people here in Norton. And just echo Mr. Kimball's announcement that the Veterans Day Parade is coming up Tuesday. And here in Norton, we appreciate and honor our veterans, which is such a wonderful thing.
Mr. Chairman?
Thank you.
If I could add to the food pantry, I spoke to Gloria Barker down there, and obviously with the government at a standstill right now, there's some concern about Thanksgiving coming very soon, and some of the concerns they have about having to feed additional people that they would normally not have to. So if anyone out there has anything, obviously they're continuing to look for additional donations. I know they're going to meet again. I think around the 17th they're going to have another event. But the food drive that was done last weekend definitely gave them a major boost on what they needed. But they still need more because they don't know. All you have to do, by the way, if you're a Norton resident, is show up and show that you're a resident of Norton. You either bring a bill. You don't have to give your license, but something that shows that you actually do live in town, and you can take advantage of this program. So there'll be one of those folks that's out there high and dry and has limited resources. The product is available. The food is available, thanks to Mr. Marsan and the C2 Foundation and the groups that got together and got all that to happen. There's a lot more food there now than there has been in previous years, but I believe there's going to be a lot more people looking for it. So if you have anything, dry foods, anything that's non-perishable that could be brought down, I'm sure to be more than pleased to take it. Mr. Marsan, are there any drop-offs locations in town?
Thank you for that, Ms. Kimball. I know that they can drop anything at the senior center, and it will make its way into the Cupboard of Kindness. There's a drop box right at the senior center. Anybody can drop off food there. If anybody goes to any of the locations where there were drop boxes and just say, hey, I've got some food, they'd be happy to take it. There's a list on the Facebook site of all the businesses that participated this year, as well as all of the communities that neighborhoods, people that got involved. And just to echo what you said, if anybody has any food insecurities in town and is in need, there are no questions asked. If you live in Norton and you need help, there are people here to help you. So I would encourage you to get in touch with Beth Rossi over at the Senior Center. Yep, go ahead, Bob.
Gluten-free products.
Yep, gluten-free products were dropped off. And one of the things that would be really helpful to people, that if you're looking to make some sort of a monetary donation, whether it be a gift card from Stop and Shop or something, those are always helpful because it lets people go buy what they need, not necessarily what's available in the Cupboard of Kindness. And the work that they do over there is just amazing, the volunteers that work there. So it's an amazing program that we have, and we're very lucky to have it here in town.
For sure.
And Mr. Chair, also, if you want to make a donation, you can write a check to their, if you go on their Cupboard of Kindness site, there's a P.O. box in Norton where you can write a check and donate, as well as donate through PayPal as well.
Sure.
So
And they get a lot of their food that they purchase with the donations from the Greater Boston Food Bank as well. So a lot of food comes through those donations.
Mr. Go, do you think we could do we have a box out front? Do you think we could put a box out there
I could put one out there tomorrow.
at the town hall?
Certainly
I believe
will.
the library also
There
has
isn't a box out there, we will get one.
I was gonna say, I know there's collection boxes at the library and the post office at
right.
least. There
I
could
think
be
the post
others.
office, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, there could be others, but at least those two locations I'm aware of.
Oh, and there are organizations in town that are collecting food constantly. I know the Congregational Church does a monthly food donations that they donate. So there are resources available if people need them or if you're looking to make a donation.
Yeah.
And St. Mary's, yeah, there's St. Vincent de Paul Society at St. Mary's Church as well, yeah.
And Outlook's Salon,
Yep.
Melissa as well, yeah.
Beth Rossi put together a whole sheet of food sources and it's sitting right on the desk when you
You don't
go
have to
in.
ask anybody, just go in and pick it up.
Because it's humiliating for a lot of people. They don't want to admit that they're in that situation, even though it's out of their control. You know, I can understand that. So you can come in and just kind of grab one of those and head out the door. So. Yes, at the senior center.
Is that available electronically too? Not everyone has the ability to get there during the opening hours, number one, and
I have it right here. I can post it on the town's website and social media.
There you
Perfect, thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
In the Trinitarian Church across the street here from the town hall, the corner of Pine and East Main, every third Tuesday they have dinner there also.
They
At
have a
5
free
p.m.
dinner, Yeah.
5 p.m. Everyone's welcome, by the way. Yeah, anyone who wants to go I've gone a couple times, and you know the food is very good. Everyone's no questions asked. I don't care who you are, where you came from, and they do a very nice job.
Good. Okay. Thank you. So next up are the warrants. I hope everyone has seen them as part of the agenda packet now and on the town website as part of the agenda packet. They have been approved already, correct, sir? Do you want to?
Yes, sir.
We're going to make a motion for each one and vote? Do we want to do that?
For the record, it's not necessary, but if the board's so inclined.
If the board wants to. Otherwise,
Hey, Bob, if you want to make a motion.
Okay, just like the old days. I make a motion that we approve invoice warrant AP 26-18 dated October 30th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion we pay make a motion to payroll warrant PR 26-09 for the week ending October 25th, 2025, warrant dated October 30th, 2025.
Second.
Motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve invoice warrant AP 26-19 dated November 6th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Next meeting agenda, November 20th. We have 2026 license renewals. Oh, boy.
Boy.
Oh, boy.
Make sure you
No exec, so I'll take a
before you come.
Invite your friends.
So
Kevin?
I just want to mention, we had a really good permanent building committee meeting last week. Bob and I did, and thank you, Mark and Jenna, whoever gathered the troops, and it was a fully packed, full attendance meeting with representatives from the finance committee, the school committee, and also the entire school administration was there to talk about the middle school roof, and then the fire chief and one of the assistants was there to talk about their project at the fire station. And it was a very fruitful meeting. It was about a 3-hour meeting. Mark was there. We had a very long discussion about both projects. And at this point, just to give everybody the kind of the punchline at the end, the middle school roof, they have an in-house project manager and a designer or an architect, and we don't choose them. They're provided by the MSBA, so they're already selected. They both know each other. There's no requirement for us to confirmed their appointments. They've already done a little bit of work. So we have asked that both of them attend the next permanent building committee meeting and present to us to kind of get us caught up to speed with what they've done so far. The middle school roof has patches, holes, water issues right now. So we discussed the school department is going to continue to patch and fix and repair the best that they can to get us through the winter. Actually, the next 2 winters. We had discussed a timeline to get the roof approved through the town meeting with the assumption that it'll require a debt exclusion override. That was pretty much the consensus. I think it is here as well. So with that timeline, we want to make sure we select a good, good project manager, good subs. So to rush this to try to get it done by next summer, everyone agreed was unrealistic. It has to be done during the summertime. It's a massive roof project. It can't be done while school's in session. So the consensus was that the project would actually happen in 2027 during the summer. So really where we are now is short-term repair work through the school department's emergency repair budget, whatever that is, between $15,000 and $50,000. It has to be under $50,000. So they're going to patch it up, try to get it to last the next year and a half without major issues, and then go through the approval process. Probably ask for approval at this Maytown meeting for a general override, and that's up to us. We'll have to get into that discussion later, with the intent that there'll be plenty of lead time to select a good project manager and subs to do the project the following summer. So we want to make sure we don't rush it and end up with poor quality workmanship, because that's all that's left in the marketplace, right? So that was one thing. As far as the fire station, if you remember when for the October town meeting, their request through the capital improvement budget was for $900,000. We only approved $300,000. We had a discussion about the amount that it would take to complete the entire scope of the project at the fire station, and we don't know how that scope evolved. We've asked for that information, but nonetheless, if you remember, it was $1.4 million to do the complete scope all at once. It was $3.2 million to do it piecemeal in phases. So we talked a lot about that, and everyone decided that we can't spend whatever the difference is, $2.5–3 million, $2 million more for the same work, because we can't do it all at once. So the decision was made for them to, in the design work, which hasn't been done for the complete project yet, which would show the whole building committee and everybody else what the full scope of work would be, they're going to go forward with that. It's about a 10% of the overall project cost is for design work. So they're going to go forward with the full-blown design work, so they have it done. They can review it with everybody, and they can go to the Maytown meeting asking for any incremental money. If it's available, we'll see what the budget looks like in order to fund the whole project so it can be done all at once and not piecemeal. So basically, the $600,000 that we couldn't come up with this past October, it probably will be a little less than that, but that will be what the ask will be for May. If it's approved in May, then the intent is to get the project done in a shorter time period, not piecemeal, keep it under the $1.4 million, and then kind of go forward with that. So that's where we left it. Then we had a long discussion about the protocol on when to engage the permanent building committee, and we kind of decided that it has to go through the town manager on when the permanent building committee should be engaged with any project. Of course, there are tiers. In spending anything over $10,000, we know it has to go to the capital improvement committee. Anything more than $25,000 should come before the permanent building committee per our bylaw. But we don't know if that just means a simple approval and no involvement. Come before us. Yes, we bless you. Go back and do it. Anything more than $1.5 million requires an OPM, an owner's project manager, which certainly would require the permanent building committee's involvement. So we talked a lot about that. The fire department was unsure. Going forward, we clear things up a lot on the process, on when, and they know, and they know, and I know the town manager knows how it should work going forward with any project in town. So I don't know, Bob, if you want to add anything, or Mark, if you want to add anything yourself.
I just add that our next meeting is November 25th, 6 o'clock at the Winnicott Room, if anyone wants to attend. And the process for doing the debt exclusion override would be to probably have a vote in the April election and then go to this May town meeting for the second. But you have to do both. You have to have an election and a town meeting vote. So rather than call for a special, either way, we'll try to incorporate those in the what we already have coming, so we don't have to spend the extra money. But we'll have to go through the process. We're getting a 55%
Yes.
reimbursement on the school roof, but we still don't know how much that is. We've heard 9.9 million, but it could come down based on some of the information we're getting now, and that's where the permanent building committee comes into it. We start looking at what their proposal is and what, we're not talking about taking any shortcuts, but sometimes there are better ways, better options, to get the job done. So, but yeah, we're working on it.
Right, and so Permanent Building Committee declined its opportunity, which is within their purview, their rights, to hear more about the fire renovation. And so I'm getting with Chief Simmons, and we're discussing the scope, maybe some value engineering, as Mr. O'Neill said. And the other thing, but they did exercise their ability to hear about the school roof, and everyone understands that Permanent Building Committee will help with that process to monitor costs as we batten the hatches for winter. And just one other thing while I have the microphone, we had a couple successful bike path meetings both here and in Mansfield. Many members of the public showed up. There was consensus to keep the paths safe and available for whoever wants to use them. So no changes are being proposed at this time.
Great. Thank you. Anybody else?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.